So I was asked to explain why JUNG is an amazing vocalist. Now I have up here on the whiteboard the great method. One more line. My fiance is making fun of me from behind the camera. Anyway, we have the great method, okay? And let's talk about this in terms of JUNG's vocals. So, number one, breathing. And by the way, these are the 8 components that make up an amazing voice. We'll get to them, don't worry. But breathing. He does a great job of breathing. He really has a mastery over the inhale and the exhale as far as I'm concerned. And why do I know that? Because think about all the movements that they have to do in K-pop. All the dancing, think about that. And to be able to get a quick inhale in, and then also if you pay attention, something that I really paid attention when I watch him, is making sure that he doesn't collapse his rib cage. Unless they're doing like a body roll and they have to, I won't demonstrate that one for everyone's sake. But notice that they keep the lats a bit tight, especially when they're bending over with the different dance moves, so that they don't collapse the rib cage. Because what I want you to think about here, when you collapse the rib cage, that's gonna screw up your voice. You don't wanna do that. Let's move on to the second point, pitch. This is something he has improved on a ton, and something that you can improve on, something that I improved on at the beginning. I thought I was like as close to tone deaf as you could get, meaning I didn't know how to sing on pitch at all. I was able to learn. It's been amazing seeing him improve at pitch over the years. Incredible. And he has gotten really, really, really good, like close to auto-tune good in these most recent live performances. It's incredible to see. So his pitch is really, really solid, and that's a part of what makes him great. This one, we're gonna star tone because, my star right there. We're gonna star tone because if you want commercial success in music, do not neglect your vocal tone and crafting a unique vocal tone. Because think about it, when JUNG sings, you know it's him because of all the different nuances that he has crafted in his voice. That's his tone. It didn't come naturally. He had to craft that. Incredible. Let's talk about the range. Another thing that has really improved. Now, your range really comes down to being able to control and contract 2 muscles on the vocal cords called the thyroarytenoid and the cricothyroid. I want you to think TA and CT. TA and CT, okay? Thyroarytenoid, cricothyroid. You've got to learn to control those 2 muscles to have an insane range where you can get into what's called your mixed voice. I'm using a lot of terminology, don't really worry about this right now, but he has built out an incredible mixed voice and truly has expanded his range to where he can hit those high notes without having that puberty crack. Let's talk about connection. Where you have one full range. There's no So slide your voice, and if you find that there's a break, that means you need to work on your vocal connection. And he has really worked on that. I mean, I haven't heard him crack his voice in a live performance. Maybe you can link me to something. Hey, we've all been there, I've been there, so no stress. But from what I can see, I mean, he's got a pretty seamless connection between his vocal registers. Okay, he's developed incredible control over his voice. And I'm talking about control in terms of volume dynamics. So it's incredible. If you listen to some of his songs, you will hear that within each phrase of the song, he's going from a soft tone to a loud tone, and then back to a soft tone. Soft to loud, then back to soft. The range of dynamics, that's what captivates us in as listeners. You have to be able to control your volume dynamics if you want to have a great voice. And he has a great voice, he has control over that, to the point where he utilizes dynamics in literally every phrase that he sings. Let's talk about vocal agility. That's how quickly can he transition to different notes all throughout his range. Think like riffs and runs, right? Like amazing riffs and runs. Really, really, really solid, and he has improved a ton to where recently I've been calling him an R&B killer. Then finally, one of the most important pieces of the puzzle is style. And he's really crafted a unique style, and most importantly, he utilizes what's called the law of emotional transference, which means whatever I feel, you are gonna feel. So if I came on this camera and I was just kind of like, hey, how's it going? Oh, you feel uncomfortable. Whereas if I'm happy, I'm in a good mood, I'm like, what's up? Okay, you can't help but feel good, right? And it's the law of emotional transference. So it means that whatever I'm feeling, you're gonna feel a small version of that. Take a look at their catalog, and you will see that it's dynamic. It's a dynamic catalog. That's not the word I'm looking for. I'm looking for, there's a lot of variety, a lot of different emotions for different songs, right? Notice that he is congruent to each emotion. So within each different song that they sing, he's owning the song fully, and he is singing it while feeling that emotion, because it's coming through. That's what makes him a captivating singer, right? Add that with the different stylistic nuances that he knows, like vocal fry, adding the breath at the beginning and the end of the phrase, and little vocal squeaks that he'll add, phrasing, different things that he'll do with his phrasing. So he's got the techniques, but most importantly, he has the foundation, which is the law of emotional transference. He's embodying the congruent emotion to the song when he sings. That is why Jungkook is a great vocalist. That is why you love this guy, you love this guy's voice. And if you want to learn to sing, you got to master these 8 components. And if you do, what I really recommend is that you start with this free lesson that I made for you. It's on my website, okay? So you'd have to click in the description or on the top comment or whatever. But run through that free lesson. It's 8 minutes. Record your voice before and after. And that's going to get you on the path to improving all of these 8 components. And when you do, you can also develop an amazing voice. It's not rocket science, guys. And like, it's so worth it, you know? I'm sure Jungkook would tell you the same thing if you could ask him, and he'd be like, if you asked him, is it worth improving your voice? He'd be like, yeah, because watch his journey. You know, he's put in work on all of these components, and that's what makes him an amazing vocalist. And I guarantee that he would encourage you to do the exact same thing. And I'm gonna encourage you the same thing. And on his behalf, I'm going to empower you and encourage you to invest in your voice, your time, put time into it. You can develop an amazing voice. And guys, when you are confident in your voice, when you really know that you have a great voice, singing and speaking voice, it's going to change your life. So if you are interested in that, for sure, get started with that free singing lesson. You're gonna be shocked. Like when you record before and after, I know it's like, seems like another free thing, like, oh, free thing, you're just talking about free thing, get you on your website, okay. I get it, I think the same thing. This is legit, okay? Spent a ton of time on this video, really just to show you what you're capable of, so definitely go give it a try, all right? And shout out to Jungkook for putting so much time in to his voice.